morning, everyone. We continue today in the words of the Iggeres Ramban as we discuss the midah of kas, the trait of anger. And he writes, Kol ha-koyes, anyone or everyone that gets angry. And koyes means that his anger is flaring up. Kol mine Gehonim sholtin boi. All of the different types of Gehonim, of that world down there with the fires and all of the suffering, spiritual suffering that a person is going to go through, which we'd rather not talk about right now, sholtin boi, they are sholit, they rule over this person. This is obviously a charge, almost a final charge that the Ramban is giving us over here, that we should understand how terrible and self-defeating is it for a person to allow themselves to be wrapped up in rage and anger and frustration and allow themselves to flare up with this terrible midah, this trait, which is going to consume a person's life. So much so that all of the different types of Gehonim, of that world that is down there, which is not the Olam Haba, not the world of peace and tranquility that a person is striving to achieve with all of their mitzvahs and all of their Torah and their beautiful midas, their character traits that they perfect. Rather, it is a lowly world that is down there, which the sages speak about at great length, where there is going to be eternal suffering and pain for a person who made major mistakes here in this world. And the majorest of all mistakes is something called kas, called anger. And if a person allows anger to control him in this world, he lets loose with his emotions. He's unbridled in his restraint. He doesn't know how to control the feelings that he has when they're welling up inside of him, when he begins to get agitated and angry with other people because they've done things to him that bother him. So then all of the different types of Gehonim that are down there, it's going to rule over the person. But the chiddush, the novel idea that the Ramban is talking about is, even in this world, you don't have to wait till 120 when a person is going to leave this world and find out what his anger caused for him, all the consequences that there are going to be. Even in this world, a person could be living in Gehonim, he could be living in this horrible reality as a result of the kas, the anger that he has. And this, Rabbi Horowitz, who was the great mashkiach of the Mir Yeshiva, he says a beautiful idea. Dovid HaMelech, King David, writes the following: Hashem he'elisa min sha'ol nafshi. Hashem, you raised me up. You raised up my soul from the lower world. Where's the lower world? Dovid HaMelech, King David, is alive right now. The lower world is reserved for Gehonim, what we're speaking about. How did King David get his soul risen up in this world from the lower world? Says Rabbi Yerucham, the idea is the following: that when a person lives a life of burning emotions of anger, of frustration, which lead a person to even depression, he lives a life of emotional angst that is so horrible and so bad and so defeating to the person's essence of who they are. They can be living a Gehonim here in this world. Does anger pay? Does getting upset with somebody else, do you accomplish anything? You could destroy worlds, as we said the other day, rip up your neshama, rip up your soul. You can blasphemize HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You could cause to sever relationships of parents to children, children to parents, brothers and sisters, husbands and wives, friends, uncles, relatives, cousins, because of anger? Does a person gain anything from getting angry and frustrated and furious? Not only do they gain nothing, but we have everything to lose when we give in to this terrible trait, which is going to allow all of the different types of Gehonim to rule over us. So a person who wants to be living in a life of kedusha, of holiness, a world of simcha, of joy, he wants to be in a spiritual realm of menucha, of peace, we have to work as hard as we can to extricate the trait of kas, of anger from within, in order that we can live in a world that's peaceful and gentle and kind, filled with mercy and all of the goodness from the Ribbono Shel Olam. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us strength today and every day to have the inner fortitude to control our emotions and not let them run unbridled like a wild horse, but rather to be a person who holds our emotions and our attitudes and our frustration and our midos, our traits, by the reins. Be in control and allow the peacefulness and the bliss of the Shekhinah, of the divine presence, to permeate our lives.